Every city has its legends, and Brno, the cultural heart of the Czech Republic, is no exception. Among its many tales, one stands out, a chilling story of ambition, temptation, and the devil's fury. At the center of this legend lies the Devil's Pillar, an imposing stone column resting near the Cathedral of Saints Peter and Paul. Wander through the cobblestone streets of Brno, and you will hear whispers of an age-old story, of a desperate man, a sinister pact, and a miracle that saved the soul of a city. But this is not just a tale of good versus evil. It is a story of hope and despair, of the weight of choices and the power of faith. Let us step back through the mists of time to uncover the dark origins of the Devil's Pillar. In medieval Brno, the city was alive with merchants bartering exotic wares, craftsmen toiling in their workshops, and townsfolk filling the air with laughter and chatter. But above all, one structure dominated the skyline, the Cathedral of Saints Peter and Paul. Its towering Gothic spires stretched toward the heavens, a symbol of both divine devotion and human ambition. Yet, for all its majesty, the clergy and townspeople yearned for more. They dreamed of a soaring tower, one that would rival the greatest churches of Europe and bring prosperity to Brno. But as the years passed, their grand vision seemed cursed. The construction was plagued by misfortune. Stones cracked inexplicably. Scaffolding collapsed without warning. Workers fell to their deaths in chilling accidents. And soon, whispers began to spread. People spoke in hushed tones of dark forces at work, of the devil's hand meddling in mortal affairs. Fear settled over Brno like a storm cloud, but no one dared to abandon the project. They had come too far. At the heart of the turmoil stood Master Wojtek, the cathedral's head mason, a man of great skill, pride, and ambition. For years, he had poured his blood, sweat, and soul into the cathedral. Yet, no matter how hard he tried, the tower refused to rise. Every night, he stood before the half-finished structure, staring at it with a mix of admiration and despair. It should have been his masterpiece. Instead, it was his torment. Then, on one fateful night, as frustration burned in his chest, he lifted his face to the heavens and muttered, "I would give anything to see this tower finished." The wind howled in response, cold and unnatural. The air grew heavy, the shadows stretched unnaturally long, and a creeping sense of dread wrapped around him like a vice. And then he appeared. A tall, elegant figure stepped from the darkness. A man draped in rich black robes, his features sharp as a blade, his eyes glowing faintly with an eerie light. "Good evening, Master Wojtek," the man greeted smoothly, his voice like velvet wrapped in steel. Wojtek's heart pounded. He knew who stood before him. Who are you?" he whispered, though he already feared the answer. The man smiled. "Let us just say," he murmured, "I am someone who can make your dreams come true." Wojtek swallowed hard. He knew the stories. He knew what this was. He knew what it would cost. But the devil's voice was syrup smooth, his words wrapped in the kind of seductive logic that made impossible things feel within reach. "I will complete your tower by dawn," Lucifer offered. "In return, I ask for only one thing, your soul." The silence that followed was suffocating. Wojtek's hands trembled. He could see it, the grand tower standing tall, his name etched into history, eternal glory within his grasp. But then, a darker vision followed, his soul burning in agony for all of time. Slowly he shook his head. "No," he whispered. Lucifer tilted his head, a predator studying wounded prey. "Are you certain, Master Wojtek? Is your soul truly worth more than your dream?" And then, just like that, he vanished. But the idea remained. Like a thorn in his mind, it festered. Days turned to weeks. The tower remained unfinished. Each failed attempt, each disappointed look from the clergy, each worker abandoning the project in frustration. It chipped away at him, until, at last, he broke. Late one evening, standing in the empty cathedral courtyard, he made his choice. "Lucifer," he called into the darkness, "I accept." The devil appeared instantly, his smile like a crescent moon in the night. A contract materialized, parchment shimmering with an unholy light, ink as dark as midnight. Wojtek hesitated, just for a second. Then, with a trembling hand, he signed. "In blood." Lucifer laughed, a sound that sent tremors through the earth. And then, the work began. Divine intervention, stone by stone, the tower rose. By midnight, it was halfway complete. By the final hours before dawn, it was nearly finished. But then, the cathedral bells began to toll. The sound was pure, resonant, divine. It shattered the night like a holy trumpet. Lucifer froze, his face contorting in rage. The bells, they were severing his power. He tried to move the final stones, but they refused. The tower stood, unfinished, just out of his grasp. Roaring in fury, the devil seized a massive stone pillar and hurled it across the city. It crashed into the ground near the cathedral, embedding itself deep into the earth. "You will regret this," he bellowed before vanishing in a blaze of fire. Wojtek fell to his knees, tears streaming down his face. He had lost his soul, but the city had been saved. To this day, the devil's pillar remains. Some say it whispers in the wind, carrying the devil's curses. Others claim it glows under the full moon, a relic of a bargain almost fulfilled. For the people of Brno, it is a warning of the dangers of unchecked ambition, of the cost of temptation, and of the power of faith. And as long as it stands, so too will the legend. A reminder that some choices, once made, can never be undone. The story of the Devil's Pillar is not just a tale of good and evil. It is a story of desperation, temptation, and redemption. It asks a question that lingers in the minds of all who hear it. If you like this story, please subscribe to our channel. Thank you.